Hey all, it's Mary Kalbach and it's Tuesday, so I'm gonna do a Tapping Tuesday video for you. I'm on my deck in my woods in Pennsylvania. You might hear my rooster, you might actually hear my air conditioner, not so hippy dippy, and you definitely can see the sun shining, which I'm very happy about because we haven't had a lot of sun lately. So let me see who hops on here. I wanted to tap today. I wanted to do something a little hardcore, something that would be super helpful, that gets right to the root of really tapping on our traumatic memories and our trauma issues. Say hey when you hop on here so I can see who you are, because Facebook's not necessarily cooperating. Oh, it'll let me write a comment. That's not useful. Alright, so what I thought I would talk about is tapping for rage, tapping for anger. And when I say anger, what I'm talking about is when we're tapping about or for on traumatic memories, a lot of times there's a whole lot of anger around that, and it may even be like that crazy rage anger. And there's a couple things about that anger. First of all, it often is kind of over the top, and we could take it out on the wrong person, right? Because we do that because we feel like we are justified in our anger, right? Something happened, whatever happened, it was truly horrific. It was truly a time when we felt our life was in danger. It was something that violated, our strongest boundaries. And so we really feel, when we have that anger around trauma issues and around traumatic memories, we really feel justified in it. So sometimes even when, like, in our brains we know we're yelling at the wrong person or we're taking it out on somebody who doesn't deserve it, it's hard for us to back off because we feel like we deserve it, right? We feel like that anger is so justified that it really doesn't matter who's in my way. I need to get to express it, right? So that's the kind of anger that I'm talking about. And a lot of times, if you're tapping for a traumatic memory and you're bringing the memory up, or you're bringing some sensory information up about the memory and you're tapping on that, this anger will come up. Or a lot of times people will just start with the anger. I'll say, what are you feeling when you think of this memory or something? And their response will be, I just feel angry. I feel so angry, right? So we'll start tapping on that anger. So we're gonna tap through that anger, and we're talking about, serious trauma anger that borders on rage. And I'm gonna give you some phrases as we tap that my mentor, who's also a trauma specialist in EFT, she uses some of these phrases, and they're super helpful to help us release some of that anger. So of course what we're going to do is, if you want to tap along, thinking of a memory that brings up that feeling of anger or that feeling of rage in you, and then first I want you to just stop and check in with your body, see if that anger lives somewhere, see if you can name where it lives. Maybe it's like a tightness in your chest, maybe it's like a blackness in your gut, maybe it's squeezing your brain, I don't know. You know what it feels like, you know you better than I know you. So identify for yourself what that physical sensation is, what I call the sixth sense, or what's called the somatic sense. So figure that out. Where does this anger live in you? And the more specific you can be, the better off you'll be. Like a bulging behind my right eye that makes my eye feel like it's going to pop out, right? Like if you can be that specific about it, that's fantastic. That's what we like. We love to work with specifics. And note, I haven't said anything about what your trauma is, right? I don't care. I don't need to know that. It's not that I don't care. Of course I care about your trauma, but I don't need to know it. I don't need to know it to help you tap it out, right? I don't. I just need to know and understand where the trauma is living inside of you and how it's expressing itself. So it's expressing itself. I'm gonna say, like, this is something I used to deal with all the time got rid of it long ago, but I'll use myself as an example. So I used to feel like it was these black like tendrils squeezing my brain, okay? And that was the anger. And I would get so angry because I just felt like if I didn't express it, you know, if I didn't get that rage out, then it was literally going to squeeze my brain into a pulp, right? So I'm going to tap on that, and I'll use that as an example. Again, it's not something I've experienced in years, but I'm going to keep myself safe. So you keep you safe as well while we tap. We're going to start out here. Now that you've identified where in your body that anger is living, I want you to give it a number in terms of the level of activation. So, you know, honestly, for me, I'm at a 0 on activation on this one because I'm tapping on a past thing that I've already released and cleared long ago. But for you, when you think of it and you key into it, it might be a 4 or 5, it might be an 8 or 9, you might be off the charts. If you're off the charts, please choose something else, because I want to keep you safe and I'm not right there with you to help you through that. If you're really struggling, please put something in the comments or private message me, and I'll try to help you through if you need it, okay? But keep yourself safe first, all right? And again, disclaimer, I am not a trained counselor or therapist. I cannot treat, prescribe, diagnose, or whatever for your illness. Please take care of your own medical needs. I am not that person. I'm just here to teach you tools to use for yourself. So we're going to start here on the side of the hand. You can use either hand, and when we do the points, you can do either side. They are symmetrical, or you can do both at the same time. I tend to use my right side. I'm right-handed. Really doesn't matter, okay? So our collarbone point, our under the arm point, our top of the head point, eyebrow point, side of the eye point, under the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, and under the arm again. Okay, so you've located where you're activated, you've described for yourself what it feels like, you've given yourself a number in terms of how activated you are. Let's get going. We're going to start here on the side of the hand. We're going to do our setup. Even though, and just repeat what I have, but fill in your own blank, okay? So I'm going to say, even though I have these black tendrils of anger squeezing my brain, that's what I'm going to say. You're going to say, even though I have this tightness in my chest, or you're going to say, even though I have this headache forming behind my left eye that's making it throb, right? You're going to say whatever your thing is and fill it in there. Even though I have these black tendrils of anger squeezing my brain, I choose to accept myself and the way I feel. Now, like I said, some of these phrases are things I'm going to give you that my EFT trauma mentor teaches me that I love, so I'm going to pass them on to you. So the phrasing might sound a little different than what we usually do, but when I tap for trauma, we do it a little differently. Okay? Even though I have these black tendrils squeezing my brain and making me feel so out of control angry, I still accept myself and the way I feel. Even though I have these black tendrils of anger squeezing my brain and making me feel like if I don't scream and yell, I'm going to squish my brain, I accept myself and the way I feel. Okay, now you're going to focus in on that physical sensation. So for you, whatever it is, I'm going to be using a reminder phrase about those black tendrils on my brain. You do whatever your thing is, right? These black tendrils squeezing my brain, this squeezing my brain, this squeezing my brain, squeezing my brain, black tendrils of anger, these black tendrils of anger, squeezing my brain, under the arm, squeezing my brain. I'm so angry. I'm furious about these things that happened. It makes me so angry. It makes me feel like my brain is being squeezed until it's going to pop. I'm so very angry. It's okay to be this angry. I deserve to be this angry. That thing that happened to me really did happen. And it was horrible. And it sucked. And I'm so angry about it. I'm furious about it. I'm so furious I cannot let go of this anger. I don't want to let go of this anger. I don't have to let go of this anger. I'm going to hold on to this anger for a good long while. I'm going to keep this anger with me until I don't need it anymore. I'm going to feel angry until I'm good and ready to release it. These black tendrils squeezing my brain, squeezing my brain, squeezing on my brain, squeezing on my brain. I feel like my brain's going to pop right open. I'm so freaking angry. You know what? If you swear, go ahead and swear. Like whatever your language is, whatever you need to say for yourself, just do it. It's fine, okay? In fact, it can help. I'm so angry. I'm so freaking angry. I can't hold this anymore. I just want to scream. It makes me so angry. You know what? I deserve to be angry. I do. I deserve to be angry. This thing that happened was horrible. It's crazy what he did to me. It's crazy what she did to me. Nobody deserves to be treated like that. I don't deserve to be treated like that. I did not deserve that. I was just there. I did not deserve that. That's why I get to be angry until I'm good and ready to let it go. I may never let it go. And that's fine. All right, stop and take a deep breath. In through your nose. When you breathe out, like really relax into yourself, but still always being aware of whatever your somatic sense is, whatever that sixth sense is in your body. So for me, if I were going to tune into, you know, that blackness squeezing my brain, that's what I would tune into right now and try to reassess that activation level. So if I had started out at like a 5 or a 6, maybe by now it's down to, you know, maybe it's down to like a 4.5. Maybe it hasn't gone down a whole lot. This kind of anger can be difficult to clear, which can be frustrating. Don't be frustrated, okay? Keep it up. It will release. It will let go. But maybe you've cleared it all out by now, right? Maybe you're down to like a 0 or a 1 and you're feeling good, and that's okay. But I'm gonna finish up the video. You can watch this as many times as you need to. It'll be here for you, and I'm gonna finish up the video with what we call a sneaking away. So these are some tapping scripts that help you to, if you haven't resolved the issue completely, that help you to be comfortable with walking away without it being completely resolved. So some phrases that we learned for the trauma is I accept myself and the way I feel, right? That it's okay for me to feel angry. We can say that. I'll let go of it when I'm good and ready. And also validating it, right? This thing that happened to me, this thing was awful. I did not deserve that, right? So these phrases that validate for you that your feelings of anger are okay, they're healthy, they're actually really normal. Just anything that can help you normalize that experience, right? Because it's an extreme rage, but it's a response to extraordinarily bad circumstances, right? So what's normal is your response. The rage and the anger is actually normal. What's abnormal are the circumstances that got you that angry, right? So you're not the crazy one. You're the perfectly normal, healthy one. It's actually a healthy response. Your body responding exactly the way it's supposed to extraordinary circumstances, right? So it's the circumstances. So when you're tapping, continually validating what I'm experiencing is normal, what I'm experiencing is healthy, what I'm experiencing is okay, and what happened to me was not normal, what happened to me was not okay, what happened to me was abusive, what happened to me was messed up, effed up, however you want to say it, right? These are the kind of language you want to use while you're doing that scripting. All right, so now we're going to sneak away. Just did something strange and I don't know what I did. A little circle popped up on my Facebook. Okay, so now we're going to sneak away and we're going to start here again at our setup. Do a brand new setup. Okay, so even though I still have some anger and I still feel like my head's going to explode a little bit, and I still feel like I want to punch this guy in the nose, I accept myself and how I feel. Even though I still have some anger, even though I have this remaining anger, even though I'm still frustrated and angry, I accept myself in the way I feel. Even though I have this anger, I accept myself in the way I feel. Now here's where the sneaking away comes in, right? Okay, so we're going to say things like, I still have this anger. This anger is still here. It's okay. It's okay for me to feel this anger. I have time to deal with it. I can deal with it whenever I want. I can come back to it whenever I want. Or I may never come back to it. I don't have to come back to it, but I can if I want. I'll deal with it when I'm good and ready. That might be today, might be never. And that's okay. I accept myself and how I feel. All right, and then take another deep breath. Now, this last piece, hopefully by now you feel pretty good about walking away from it and being okay. If you need to tap through that that sneaking away process a few more times, that's fine. But here's the thing, is if you're still feeling really agitated and like you're just not ready to re-engage, to let go of this tapping session and re-engage in a healthy way outside of it, then what you can do is decide to put that situation somewhere. Okay, so whatever it is that caused the anger, or even the anger itself, whatever you need to, you can put in a container and put wherever you want to put it. Okay, so if you want to put it in a lockbox, in the bank, in a bank in Australia, and leave it there, right? That's fine. You can do that. You know, actually physically imagine yourself putting it in that lockbox, you know, flying to Australia, putting it in the lockbox, closing it up, closing the vault behind you, walking out, flying back home, right? Give yourself all that time and distance and space that you need. You could put it, you know, you may just need to put it under your pillow for a night. You may just need to stick it under your bed or in your closet. I've got some stuff hiding in my parents' basement right now in boxes. But you can put it wherever you want, right? And that really helps to give you some distance, so that it's okay to continue whatever you're doing, to live right here, right now, in the present moment, and still have that kind of lingering there. And you can even tap through that as well, right? So I'm putting this situation with whoever, name your person. I'm gonna fly to Australia. I'm putting this situation in a lockbox. I'm walking in the bank. I'm putting it in the vault. I'm closing the door to my lockbox. I'm closing the door to the vault. I'm walking out of the bank. I'm getting on a plane. I'm flying back home. I'll deal with that when I'm good and ready. I'll deal with that when I'm good and ready. I know exactly where it is. It's in that vault in Australia. I'll deal with that when I'm good and ready. Okay. So that's another really good way to get some time and distance. And you can do that with anything at any point in the process, in the EFT process for your traumatic memories. You can put them anywhere you want, anywhere in the world, as way down in the ocean, in the core of the earth. You can throw them out on land, on the moon, whatever you want to do with it, right? It's okay. It's okay to do that. As long as you continue to be in touch with your somatic sense, as long as you continue to be in touch with the emotions, the feelings, that internal sense of where it lies and where it lives, right? Because that's what we're tapping on. We're not tapping on the traumatic experience per se. We're tapping on your body's response to that experience, all right? Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you. I know I don't get a lot of comments when I do these super heavy tapping things, because I understand you guys don't want to be called out or whatever on that. That's fine. But please keep yourself safe. If you're watching this and you suddenly don't feel safe, if you feel like you're beginning to get a little dissociative, if you're trying to kind of maybe flying outside your body, or you get scared, keep tapping through that because it will calm down your central nervous system. That's what the tapping does. It physiologically calms down your central nervous system. So tap through it a little bit until you can feel calm. If you feel tears come up, do not be afraid of that. Keep tapping and keep working on your scripting. But again, if you get yourself in a really stuck place, please reach out to me, and I am willing to help you. I don't want anybody to be in a bad place because of me. But again, this is just an educational video, an educational tool. I am not here to be your counselor, your therapist. I am here to teach you tools to use for yourself. So please use them with caution, and reach out for particularly mental health care if you need that, right? I am not your therapist. I can instruct you a little bit on some tapping scripts, but I am not your therapist. So if you find yourself in a bad place, please get yourself help immediately, right? That's appropriate, who can help you process through that. All right, folks, I love to do this because I love you, I care about you, and you are so darn worth it. Have a fantastic evening.